Hey everybody, welcome to episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of, what is it? Hey Kerwin, yes that's right. I've had a little bit of a holiday, so I'm a little bit absent-minded. 2 weeks away, and I have to tell you, I'm ready to start working again. Let's rock on.
Belinda Grimond says, "Hey Kerwin, why are we as humans so worried about what others think?"
Belinda, that's a great question. It's primal. We're a herd animal. We're a mammal. And what that means is being a mammal, we congregate. So we congregate and collaborate, and we basically, develop and foster and grow up and form groups and communities. That's how, if you just look around, whether it be National Geographic or the way humans interact with each other, they typically do it in volume. And that's done for protection. And so the reason that people care so much about what others think about them is because of the herd aspect, or the potential rejection aspect of being in a herd. Because when you're in a herd, that provides a higher level of safety, provides a higher level of security. But when you are potentially evicted or rejected or kicked out of that herd, that can be very threatening. And that threat can potentially not only create stress, but we know basically in the world of National Geographic, that stress can also lead to getting eaten. Thankfully, we don't have any saber-toothed tigers around anymore, but we still have this primal mentality where we really care about what people think, because we're afraid that if they think badly of us, then they'll reject us from whatever herd that we congregate together in, and that could potentially lead to either injury, illness, or death. The fastest way for you to get from where you are now to where you want to go, just stop caring what people think. And I'm not sure if that question was kind of, something that you're putting out there because you do have a little bit of that fear. But I do know that it's a very human thing to be afraid of what other people think of you. But I also know that the people who have achieved the highest level of success in their own lives and their own businesses are the ones that don't care. And it's not that they aren't interested, they just don't care. They're not emotionally invested in what other people think in them for the most part. So yeah, stop caring.
Tron Amon says, "Hey Kerwin, can you suggest a way to overcome zero motivation? I'm stuck in a rut."
Look, I'd ask the question, what are you motivated to do? What are you inspired to do? Where do you have a level of ethic of performance around your own performance that is greater than what you have in the area of business right now? I can talk to this pretty intimately because I was essentially accused my entire life of being lazy, like my entire youth, I should say. Like my mum, oh my dad, my God, my mum used to always say, "You're so lazy, Kerwin. You're so lazy, Kerwin. You're so." And what I discovered is not so much that I'm lazy; it's just that I like to find the easiest way to do things. That's a big difference between them. But when we look at laziness and motivation, like for me, my laziness was driven around efficiency. For others, it's really related to the fact that they just don't enjoy or not inspired by what you do. Like for me, the reason I have such high levels of motivation is because I'm actually doing stuff that I fucking love. I'm doing stuff that I'm passionate about. I'm doing stuff that inspires me, lifts me up, that really, lights my fire and puts fuel in my engine. But what I do know is when I do things that don't inspire me, I could be the laziest person. Like I just had 2 weeks off, right? And so I wasn't doing anything. And so I literally sat around on the couch, laying in bed. I watched fucking 20 hours of Netflix probably in a day. And I was bored out of my fucking head. Now that's a great point. The reason I was so bored is because I was doing things that didn't interest me. So look, for me, the motivation question is actually really, there's a great book you can read that's called Drive, The Surprising Truth About What Really Motivates Us. And that gives you a really good insight into the model of motivation and how to, set yourself up for, to have high levels of motivation by looking at the different areas. But what I do know is, regardless of what strategies you use, if you're trying to motivate yourself to do something that you don't like or hate or don't want to do, it's going to be a very painful task. And again, I'm sure that there are going to be some people going to say, "Oh, but Kerwin, you don't understand. I have to do this. I have to do that. I can't just do something that I love." Well, if that's your situation, for the things that you have to do, find the things that you love about the things that you have to do. Because if you sit there and ask the 500 benefits of you doing the things that you hate, you'll come up with a list of 500 things that will be of benefit for you doing the very thing that you hate, which will not only will it change your perspective and start giving you a different perspective on the thing that you hate, but it'll also start reorganizing and reconnecting your neurons in a way that will actually create more stimulus towards doing the things that you do not like to do, and it'll actually create a neurological level of motivation because that thing that you hate is now attached to all these things that you love, neurologically speaking. So I just think you need to find what it is that you love. For me, I did 42 or 48 different jobs before I actually found what I loved. And I think, that's the key. Keep trying, testing, measuring until you find that thing that you do it, and then you just go, "Oh my God," and you light up.
James Terry says, "Hey Kerwin, what's the best way to market your personal brand as a business consultant?"
I'm not sure if I'm qualified to answer that question.
Is it best to promote yourself personally or use the business as the brand?
Look, well, you just said, how do I best promote a personal brand as a business consultant? And I guess it depends on what your end game is. I think regardless of whatever type of business that you're in, personal branding is something that needs to be addressed. Like every person, regardless of what business you're in, and I think when you look at the forefathers of personal branding in large corporations, whether it be Richard Branson, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, or even Donald Trump, I think it's important to realize that personal branding now has never been more important than it's ever been. So that has to take place. And by association, that will lift up your business brand, but it brings together its own set of challenges. Like the obvious challenges that you have is your business now has a face to it. Okay, it now means that your business is somewhat tied to you. It also means that the asset is going to be devalued because it's associated with a personality. Now that doesn't mean that at some point you can't transition into a more of a corporate brand to remove those liabilities and to reduce that risk. But I guess it depends on what your scope of what your end game is. For me personally, I have a personal brand. I've jumped in and out. Matthias hasn't seen this, but for the last 16 years, I've jumped in and out of a personal brand and a business brand, personal brand, business brand, personal. And I've decided I've chosen this path to take the personal brand. And for me, I get a lot of a lot of benefit in doing that. But what I do know is, for me personally, the fastest way for you to get your brand built is through social media. Let's just nail that. But secondly, you need to understand that the scaling issues that come with a personal brand and the scaling opportunities that come with a personal brand. And to be honest, if I sat here and listed all of them, we'd probably be here for 2 days. But what I will tell you is you need to make a decision and go in one direction. You're either going to go on a personal brand or you're going to go on a business brand. Me personally, I would go down the personal brand, forefront and build up your personal brand, and use that to leverage a business brand, off the back of that. But, to get back to the root question, which is how do I build a personal brand as a business consultant? Look, I don't want to sound trite because I'm not the best person who's doing it, but just look at what I'm doing. Like, that's a good example. I'm not the best at it. You look at Gary Vaynerchuk. He's, absolutely one of the leaders when it comes to, personal branding. And just model and emulate. Just find someone who's doing exactly what you want and just model and copy what they do, but keep some originality in there as well.
Linda Lynn says, hey Kerwin, what is the story and meaning behind your tattoos?
Okay, wow. I have 5 tattoos. I have 1, 2, 3, I have a 4th one on my leg, and I have my back done. So this one means pure love. Pure love, also translated as pure energy. This one is the symbol of the tiger, which is my Chinese zodiac star sign, which is also a symbol for strength and courage. On my back, I have a complete General Kwan, who is considered to be one of the protectors of Buddhism, and I have love, appreciation, wealth, and faith in kanji symbols around the General Kwan. And on my ankle, I have a fucking shark. And the reason I laugh, because everyone looks at it and goes, oh, you got a dolphin on your fucking ankle. It's not a fucking dolphin, it's a shark. It's not a whale, it's a fucking shark. A shark, and it's a tough shark. But I am getting the shark removed because I got it during a phase when I was doing shark diving, open water shark diving. It was really cool. I wanted to symbolize it, but the tattoo was terrible, so I'm now getting it removed.
John Sue asks, hey Kerwin, what are your greatest challenges right now, both personal and professional?
Personally, it's probably my relationship with my wife. Like right now, we've been married for 6 years. We've got a beautiful, 3-year-old son. We've had some pretty big challenges, to be honest with you, in the last 12 months, but especially, in the last probably 6 months. Over Christmas was a very tough period for us. But, now we're actually getting to a point where our relationship is not only is it on the mend, it's actually becoming even better than it's been in a very long time. And that's not by accident. We do a lot of work on ourselves individually, which is really important in a relationship. You can't just work on yourselves together. You've got to work on yourselves individually, but we also come together on work on our relationship together. And if there's one thing, apart from the fact that Chris has got people that she connects, and I've got people that I connect. And like for me, therapy is a really big part of my life. Not that I do it as frequently as I'd like to, but I think everyone should have someone that they can talk to, regardless of whether you think you've got any mental health issues or not. And this is something that's really important, around any form of relationships, whether it be interpersonal or interrelational. I think everyone needs someone that they can talk to, and I think it not only produces healthier relationships, it also produces healthier individuals as well. I think there's a lot of people have fear around speaking to someone, whether it be a therapist, a counsellor, or a psychologist, or whatever. Personally, I think those are the people that should be paraded and admired and awarded for, for saving relationships and marriages and in some cases even lives. On the business side, my biggest challenge in the business side right now is recruitment, probably, because we're growing pretty fast. Like we've just hired another 2 people start today. I think we've had 5 start in the last 2 weeks. We've got another 15 that'll be starting in the next few weeks. So recruitment is the big one, but we've hired a specialist now, and that's the reason we are moving so quickly. Tracy Lane from Top Talent, and I think within 5 weeks, she had appointed 7 or 8 people, which is fantastic. So that for us, although is a challenge, is being worked on and addressed. And although my personal life, I've got some challenges in my relationship, that's being worked on and addressed as well. So does that answer the question? That was episode Ichi San Shi Go of the Hey Kerwin show. For those of you who do have more questions, please make sure you use the hashtag Hey Kerwin below. Let me know all of your questions. I'm now back. I'm bad. I'm really blasting. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of Hey Kerwins in the next couple of weeks. So any questions you've got, hashtag Hey Kerwin below, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, even skywriting. We're very big on that right now. So over North Sydney, hashtag Hey Kerwin, keen to know your questions. But the question of the day for you, I would like to know, what is the one thing that you do to recharge your batteries? Is it going on holidays? Is it meditating? What is the number one thing that you do? Because I've just got back, I'm nice and fresh, and I want to stay that way. So I'm curious to know some of your ideas on what do you do to recharge quickly when you're drained. And I'm not talking about, you've just had a big day and you're a little bit drained and you want to get back into shape, or you want to get back into gear. Let's say you've been working for like 6 weeks solid, you're completely you're smashed, okay, and you need some serious rest. What is it that you do to recharge your core batteries so that you can come back and plow on for another 6 weeks to 3 months? I'm curious. What do you do? Hey, Kerwin. Boop, 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 boop.